Hello everyone! Welcome back to my channel. It is Teacher Brett, and today we are going to talk about the It Is Red and Blue trial. So this is our new interactive trial at Gogokid, and this is our youngest level trial. So we're talking about our babies here. Typically 4 or 5 years old, sometimes 2, 3 years old, taking the trial class with Gogokid. So it's really simple, made for those students who do not have a lot of English language, and by not a lot, I mean zero. So we're going to talk about how do I teach this. So let's get started. We are going to I'm going to kind of walk you through the lesson. I'm not going to put the lesson up here because it's the property of Gogokid. If you are a Gogokid teacher, you can find all of the trial lessons available on Freshdesk. So you can take a look at them and make sure you're familiar with all of those trial classes. So the first slide that you see is in all Chinese. Nothing you need to do on this slide. This is just telling the parents to stick close. It's telling them that their student might need help on the iPad or the computer, so stay by them, and it introduces a couple of the characters they're going to see. So generally, once I press that start button, I go right past this slide that's in Chinese. The parent will have already seen it, and start on that introduction slide. Remember, these are our little ones, zero English skills. So I usually start off with a simple question. My name is Brett. What is your name? Depending on how they answer me is kind of going to be a good indication of where this lesson is going to go. If they struggle to give me their name, then I will usually spend a minute teaching them the sentence, my name is whatever their name is. If I can get any kind of name, or if they have a name there in the that they've put in, I'll use that one. But I try and teach them that sentence, my name is Yao Yao, or whatever it may be. If they give me their name easily, I might ask them a follow-up question, how old are you, or how are you, and see how they do with that one. But you want to build rapport right from the beginning. You want to be happy. You want to have a smile. You want to be engaging for the student. They are often scared. They are often shy. This is their first experience online, first experience with somebody that doesn't look like them. So having some kind of a puppet is helpful. I usually have come here, my little cat that I can use if they're shy, and kind of bring them out a little bit. So I do my best there. If they are just totally shut down, that's okay. We'll just go over to that song that's coming up and try and use that to help them out. So the next slide is that song. It's a long song, so this is not a song I try and have the student repeat or say with me. I pretty much just play it. I dance. Do, 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 do. Yeah, okay, we're listening, we're singing. After the song, I might try and teach them, hello. Do, 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 do. Hello, or something like that. But yeah, I try and bring out my props while the song is going on. It is a red hat, or it is a blue hat. I might have two hats that I can choose from, or I might just have some red and some blue props that I can put up while we're singing during that song. Next, we're introducing the red and the blue color. So this slide is pretty simple. You're just introducing the color. I don't spend too much time here. Today, blue, and I might bring out something blue and see if I can get them to repeat blue, and I might bring out something red and see if I can get them to repeat red. It's pretty much all I do on that slide there. The next two slides are the actual red slide and the blue slide. They are very simple slides. You just have the paint, you click on it, the paint comes out. So what I use these two slides for is I use them to teach the student how to use the mouse, to circle, and to click on the screen. So generally at this point, this level student, they have no idea that they can even write on the screen. So this takes a little bit of time to get them to understand that. So I will often walk them through, first circling on the screen. So I might, I'll try, circle, circle. You want to keep in mind if they're on the iPad or if they're on the computer. A lot of times it'll say it in the chat box, or you can tell because if they're on the iPad, it's moving all around. So if they're on an iPad, I'll show them on my phone, circle, circle. So I've got a video somewhere down the line on how to get the students to circle or to click, but I walk them through that whole process and try and teach them how to circle. When I get to blue, I might walk them through getting them to click the paint tube so that the blue comes out. So I spend a little time here making sure they can use that, because if they get that down, if they get the circling and the clicking, they understand they can do that, it's going to make the rest of the lesson a whole lot easier, because I'm going to be able to get them to interact with me. So I try really hard to get them to understand that right from the beginning. Otherwise, on these slides, we want them repeating red and we want them repeating blue. Several times. Remember, they are brand new to English. They don't know these words. So repetition is key. For us, it's like, oh, this is so boring. We've said red 500 times. For them, they need that, because that's the only way they're going to remember the word. Pronunciation is also key. Parents want to see their student talking, and they want to see you correcting their student. So really get into the camera, blue. Make sure that they are able to use that and pronounce those words correctly. So you really want to make sure you focus in on how to pronounce those words and have them do it several times. Lots of times I use voices, red, and have them repeat that. They usually find that funny. I will sing them. I will say it loud and quiet. The other thing that you can do on these slides, or if not on these slides later on, is see if you can get them to find something red or something blue. Parents oftentimes help out in this. If you can get the parent involved in the trial, that is usually very helpful. But I will look around my desk. Normally I'll do something like, red, red, red. Red. Red, red, red. Do you see red? And a lot of times, either they or the parents will pick up on what I'm asking them to do. So I'll usually try that a couple of times, see if I can get them to find something red and something blue on those slides, because that is oftentimes very helpful and gets the student engaged there in the lesson. After we introduce red and blue, the student has a little game, and they're clicking red and blue. So again, this is why it's important that we teach them that they can click early on. Some students don't get it, and if they don't get it, you'll have to do the clicking for them. But hopefully, if you've spent a little bit of time and gotten them to understand they can click, then on this slide, they're able to click on, when you say red, they click on the red color. When you say blue, they're clicking on the blue color. And then, yay, great, woohoo, they win. Remember to keep your language really simple. So, click red, 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 red. And try and get them to click on the red. If they don't get it on red, you can do it, and then see if they can do it on blue. So, I do it, we do it, you do it. Try and get them to eventually do it, but model for them. So if they're not picking up on it, you go ahead and do one. Sometimes I like to do one that's wrong. Oh, not red. So that is helpful too. If they've picked up on the colors really quickly, you might want to introduce green or yellow that are on this slide. So again, use your judgment, adjust for the student as needed throughout class. You have a lot of freedom here at Gogokid to do that. So if it seems too easy for the student, make it more difficult. If it's way too difficult, try and make it easier based on what the student needs. Next, we get to click on the screen, and color is going to come out. So it's going to be red or blue, and we want the student to choose red or blue. So pick and choose what you're going to have the student click. So there's a lot of things they can click in these interactive features. So I usually try and pick and choose. This one, when we're just clicking on the screen and color comes out, this one's usually an easy one to get them to do, because they just have to click anywhere on the screen and that color will come out. So I usually will try and do that. And then I will either have like a flashcard that says red and blue, or I might have my red and blue props. And I kind of go like this, so that they know I'm wanting them to choose one, and see if I can get them to say either red or blue, whatever the color is. If they say it, yeah, I usually will click the answer for them, so that I'm not having them click on too many things. And you also have to click on it actually twice. So the first time you click on it, it says red. Second time you click on it, it actually moves over and congratulates them for getting it right. So I usually click on the actual answer if I can get them to say it. And we do that a couple of times, once with red and once with blue in the lesson. Okay, brief intermission there to go teach a class. Was not It Is Red. I got toys and musical instruments, but that's all right. We are back talking about It Is Red. So let's see. We are now on the we finished the colors that come out with the guns, and their student is picking red and blue. So the next thing we have is Hannah with their hands are all in blue, and we're introducing that sentence, it is blue. Now, if the student seems ready, I will introduce that sentence way earlier because the parents love to see full sentences. So don't feel like you have to wait. I'll introduce that sentence or maybe other sentences earlier if the student picks up on red and blue really easily. You know, I like red, I like blue, it is red, it is blue. I will introduce some sentences earlier and have them repeating those because the parents love, 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 love as much as you can get that student talking. But on this one, I'm going to make sure that we can get that sentence. Sometimes the kids have a hard time. It's long for some of them. So, you know, using your fingers. It is red is helpful. Having it written on a whiteboard or on an index card or something so you can point underneath each word is helpful. Clapping it is blue can be helpful. So for them to distinguish that there are 3 different words that they are saying. So that can definitely help. On this slide, I often extend by counting the fingers. So we will count to 10, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Or I've done just 5. I've counted 5 on the one hand, and I've counted 5 on the other hand. If they're struggling with just the 5 numbers, then I'll just repeat, and we'll count to 5 a couple of times. The next slide that we have is it is blue. We're now introducing, you know, that sentence again, it is blue, and they're supposed to click on the blue dinosaur. This is another great slide to extend. If you're going quickly through the lesson, you can count the dinosaurs here. You know, 1, 2, 3. There's actually a flying dinosaur too, but most of the kids don't find that one, so I don't worry about it. But you can count the dinosaurs. You can go over the sentence for the red dinosaur, and it as well as the blue one. After you finish it is blue, maybe you circle the red dinosaur and have them say it is red. If they have caught on to red and blue really easily, I will introduce another color, maybe the pink because there's a pink dinosaur, or maybe yellow because there's a yellow pail. So I'll introduce another color. Again, having props around is really helpful for this. You know, you can hold up, oh, I've got my little blue dinosaur. Isn't he so cute? Oh, he was an ornament, I think, at Hobby Lobby this year, so I grabbed him. But this is a good prop to have, trying to get them to click on the blue dinosaur. So be thinking about ways you can extend the class because it can go by really quickly if you're just having them repeat, it is blue, and you're moving on. It's not going to be long enough to stretch out 25 minutes. So be thinking about the ways you can extend. Some other ways I extend in the interactive classroom is using those extra tools. So you will see if you on your little toolbar, you have the 3 dots at the bottom. So if you press those 3 dots, you've got a lot of extra tools you can work with. So a few things that I do is, let's see, here's my one for it is red. I just print out this with 6 pictures. I put Post-its over them. There is a spinner that spins and it has 6 numbers on it. So whatever it lands, I'll pull off the spinner and I'll ask the student if it's red or is it blue, and they'll say yes or no. So that is helpful to have something like that. You can also use the spinner and have them say the word, you know, 4 times. If it lands on 4, they're going to say red, 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 red 4 times. So that's another great way to do that. You could even write numbers on the slide. So I might write, right now we're on, if you're following along with me, the slide, it has a few dinosaurs and it has some pails. So I might write, you know, 1, 2, 3 over each of the dinosaurs and maybe 4, 5, 6 on each of the pails, and we'll spin the spinner, and whatever number it lands on, I'll have them tell me the color. So again, you have to figure out and adjust for the student, you know, where they're at. If that would be too hard for them, don't do it, obviously. One of the tools that you can use for the easier one is you can just use the square shape and you can cover the entire screen, and then you can just use your eraser tool to erase a little circle, you know, where the blue dinosaur is, and have them say it is blue. Then you could erase a little circle where the red dinosaur is, it is red. So different things you can do with those tools. So play around with all those tools in there because they can be really helpful. Don't forget about the filters too. There's the filters in the classroom, and there's a blue bunny. So I often use the blue bunny during this trial because it is blue. So I'll put that on me or the student and have them say the sentence, it is blue. All right, so we are back then to a couple more of these slides where we are showing them a color and asking them to choose blue or red, except this time we have the whole sentence, it is blue, it is red. So again, same as you did before, we want them to, you know, click on the screen and make the guns pop out the color, and then we want them to pick it is blue or it is red. And we want those sentences. We want to check for pronunciation, check to make sure they're saying all of the words there. So spend some time on that, making sure the pronunciation is really good, because that, again, is one of the things selling points for the parents. I often will bring out a lot of props at this point. This point is starting to get a little bit repetitive for them. They might be getting a little bit bored. They might be going off the screen. Use your props. This is really important. So that's what's going to keep the students' attention on you. So if I'm losing their attention, I'm putting my prop up in the screen. Yo, 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 yo. It is red. Ooh, red. Can you click? Click red, and I'll get them to click the red and that sort of thing. So definitely I have got all my red props that I can bring out, or my blue props. I've got them really close to me, easy to bring out throughout the class. And then we introduce hat. Hat. I suggest having a hat if you've got a hat around. The kids like it when you put hat on. I have also have, it's Christmas time, so right now when I'm doing this video, so you can easily get a Santa hat, but the kids love the Santa hat when I put that one on. They usually really like that. So have a hat that you can show them. Again, sometimes I will, ask if they have a hat, and if the parent's nearby, a lot of times they'll bring them a hat or something like that. So hat is on there. We want to say the word a few times, get them to repeat it a few times, and then next we're going to start introducing things like it is a blue hat, it is a red hat. So now we've got more words to say. Again, a whiteboard is helpful here so that they can count out the words. If this is too difficult for your student, adjust it. So I had a girl this morning who was really struggling with, talking, with saying all those words. So we just kept it, we just said blue hat and red hat. We didn't worry about the whole sentence because it was too much for her. We want the trial class to be successful. We want them to be happy. We don't want them to leave feeling like, oh, I didn't know anything. I couldn't do it. It's too hard. I'm not signing up for Gogokid. So keep that in mind. Simplify it if you need to. But blue hat and red hat, we're going to do those on the next couple of slides. So we want to make sure, again, that you are, using your props, using your TPR, making sure they understand hat as you go through those couple of slides. Next we have it is red, and we have a little red heart. So if you have a red heart, that's helpful to pull out, but this is a great time to use your props and pull them out. It is red. I have this lovely red heart that I got at the dollar store, but it changes colors. So I often will do, it is red. It is not red as I go through the class. But this is a great time to stop and do a little game. You can put a whole bunch of toys into a hat. If you don't have a hat, you can just put them down below so the student can't see them. But I will close my eyes and I'll pull out a toy. Hat's not cooperating. I'll pull out a toy and have them say if it's blue or if it's red. So it is blue. It is red. So they normally like that as well, to play a little game there to stretch it out if you're running short on time. Next we have, again, just a reinforcer. It is blue sentence with the pail of blue there. Again, this is a great place to stop and do a game, to have them find something blue if you haven't done that yet, to play, red and blue, kind of red, or this is not red, blue. I should take the class. Somebody teach me. Someone teach me it is red, blue, red. As you go through, sometimes they like to do it fast. So if I have a kid who seems to like to do it fast, I will have my two props, red, blue, 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 and we'll do it really fast as we go through there. And then we have it is red hat, again, that sentence, and same thing. You can play some games there. You can stretch it out. You can try on different hats if you have different hats. That's a great way to do it as well. So I also like to use a secondary reward system that goes with the lesson. So I have a few different ones. I have some that are just a bunch of red and blue things. So I will pull out a red or something blue and put it on. I also have one with hats. So we have different hats that we can put on the different character. So I have all of my Gogokid characters laminated here, and they all have magnet on the back. So I will just pick a character for my reward system, and then we will use different hats that I've just cut out, and we'll put different hats on them. And I try and do red and blue ones for this one, so we can try on different hats as the reward system. So that also can take some time and stretch it out a little bit. One of the other things that I do, if you were here before the new interactive trials, this used to be just It Is Red. And there used to be a really short, simple song that went with it. So when they made the new one, they took out the short, simple song. And they put in the hello and the goodbye song, which are great. They're fun and you can dance along to them, but you can't really get the young students to repeat them at this point. It's too much. So I often add back in that song. So throughout the lesson, we might sing it, and it was like, "What color is it? It is blue. What color is it? It is red." And that song you can teach to the students. So I will, oh, there's my microphone. If we're running out of time, maybe at the end, if we have time, I will teach them that song. What color is it? And I'll get them to repeat it. It is red. I'll get them to repeat it. So I'll teach them that simple song either at the beginning or the end. I might do it a time or two throughout the lesson so that they leave class like knowing a song. The parents love that too. It's simple, it's easy, so you can add that in even though they took out that slide. Add it in. Any singing you can do is always fun for the kids. So definitely keep that in mind. Then we have our goodbye song. Again, you can just dance, have fun. I usually try and get the kids to stand up. Yo, yo, stand up. I'll stand up too. Stand up. And we will dance as I play it. Dance around and hop around. They usually enjoy that. And then it's the goodbye. So you want to go over your secondary reward system with the student. You got 5 stars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hats, whatever you used. Say goodbye. Leave with a smile on your face there so that the parent has a great lasting impression for you. Since it's a trial class, sometimes I will put in the chat box at the end of class, student did a great job today. I hope I see you at Gogokid soon. And then I also, in my feedback for the student, I will usually let them know how their student did, what they can work on at home, what we learned this week, and usually what Gogokid can give them. So if you sign up with Gogokid, you're going to be able to, increase your students' conversation skills or whatever it may be. So definitely ways to try and sell the program to them. So these are my ideas on how to teach the new It Is Red interactive trial. If you have any suggestions, definitely put them down below for everybody so they can see them in the comments. Or if you make your own YouTube video on how you teach It Is Red, link to it down below so that all of our fellow teachers can also share from your wisdom as well. It's always great to get ideas from other people. So I wish you all the best of luck teaching this week. I hope you get lots of It Is Red and Blue trials as you go throughout your week. If you have not yet applied to Gogokid and you're looking to join us, definitely shoot me an email or use my referral link below, and I can walk you through that process. I've got lots of great goodies for the teachers that join Gogokid underneath me, so I can definitely help you through that process as well. Goodbye, everybody. Have a great week.